Hi everybody, it's Hayley Tomazic with Meyer Realty, and I'm coming here today to bring you some information on foreclosures. Because so much of the market right now is foreclosures, I find myself helping a lot of buyers purchasing them, and I come up with some very similar situations and questions. So today I wanted to bring you my top 7 tips for purchasing a foreclosure. Tip number 1. It takes time. Typically when you're dealing with a bank, you can expect to hear up to 10 days before getting a response from them. And since this response time can be so long, there is the chance that other offers could come in. Which brings me to tip number 2, dealing with multiple offers. How it works when a bank receives more than one offer on a property is typically like this. They will come back and let each agent know that they have received multiple offers on the property, and they will ask for the buyer's highest and best offer. At that time, you would redo your contract, putting in the terms that would be the absolute highest you would go, sending back to the bank, and the bank can make their decision from there. They will not always decide based upon the price. They may look at if it's a cash offer, the closing time frame. So there are a lot of factors to consider when putting in your highest and best offer on a foreclosure. Tip number 3, and this is a big one, make sure to do your inspections. When purchasing a foreclosure, you are purchasing the property from the bank as is. And what that means is that if there is anything wrong with the property, fix it prior to closing. So you want to make sure before you purchase that property and close on it that anything that is wrong with the home, you know exactly what it is. Because the bank has never lived in the property, they will not verify any issues the property may have. This could include structural issues, leaky basements, or furnace problems. So for you to get the inspection, it's well worth it up front to make sure you are aware of any issues the properties may have and you have the funds to be able to repair them. Tip number 4, inspections can be difficult. What exactly do I mean by this? Well, this really can depend on the bank that you are dealing with and what their policies are. Basically, a lot of times when you're looking at a foreclosure and looking to purchase it, they have the utilities off. Sometimes just the electric may be on, the home may be winterized, and in order for you to do a proper inspection, really those utilities need to be on. Certain banks will go ahead and get the utilities turned back on for you. Others will require you to get the utilities put in your name. Some banks will even require you to pay for the de-winterization of the property in order to get the water back on. So these are just things to take into consideration in knowing when you're purchasing a foreclosure. There may be some added work for you, maybe even some added costs in terms of the inspection to make sure the utilities are on. Tip number 5, bank addendums supersede state contracts. When you send in an offer to a bank and you write it up on the state contract with your realtor, the bank will go ahead and determine which offer they are going to choose based upon those contracts. But typically the larger banks are going to have their own forms that they are going to want you to sign as well that basically put the contracts into their terms. It's everything that is approved by them. So you will need to sign those typically on top of the state contracts. And these forms typically supersede the terms in the state contracts. So it's just important to make sure that you do review these documents and that you do agree to everything in the terms. Tip number 6, where will you close? Most likely when purchasing a bank-owned home, you will close at the seller's title company. They typically have an approved title company that works with them in dealing with their foreclosure properties and specializes in that type of sale and will request that you close there. Very rarely do I see where the seller will allow you to pick your own title company. So it's just another thing to know up front that you will be closing at the title company of the lender's choice. My last tip of the day, tip number 7, has to do with predication work. What exactly is predication work? Well, basically when you are purchasing a home, an appraiser goes out to appraise the property. At that time, they're going to make sure the property is in livable condition. If anything they think needs to be fixed prior to closing or fixed prior to the lender lending on it, they're going to let the lender know. This could include something such as missing plumbing from the property or missing air conditioner. And these items usually need to be taken care of in order for the lender to lend on the property. So these are my tips for you in looking to purchase a foreclosure, and I hope you found them helpful. If you are interested in looking at foreclosures or purchasing a foreclosure, I would be happy to get you on my free foreclosure list where you can be updated daily of any foreclosures coming on in the St. Louis market. To get on this list, please email me at Hayley@jfmeyerrealty.com. That's Hayley @jfmeyerrealty.com. Or you can always call me at 314-229-2009. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and I hope you catch my next blog post. Have a good one. Bye-bye.